Hi, I'm Stephanie from Sacred Self Healing. That's sacred-self.com. Today, my daily painting is going to be about having good energy. I had a really good nap yesterday, if you saw my video from yesterday. And so today I woke up with really great energy. So that's what I'll be painting about today. Today I'm going to do an experiment with how to draw my energetic self. So we'll see how it turns out. And here's one thing I like about doing these daily paintings is I get to experiment and try new things. And some of them work out better and some of them work out not as good. And it's okay. Because I learn each time I try something out. And everything doesn't have to be fantastic. I think I've mentioned in earlier videos that the main thing is that the painting can tell a story. And I think you'll be able to get the idea of the story, even if it doesn't turn out exactly how I'm hoping that it will. Maybe it will. So we'll find out. I always like to start with the flesh tones so then I can do the pink heart and use the leftover paint from the pink heart for the cheeks. Give me my rosy complexion. In real life, I have very rosy cheeks, so that's why all my characters have very rosy cheeks. Oops. Well, that's how it goes with the blooming. I like the blooming on the cheeks, but I don't want the hand to be completely covered. So I'll take off some of that. Then I might have to paint some of that skin tone back in a little while later. Too much water on the brush. I think that brush is too juicy for those small spaces, so I'm going to use a different brush. I think that one is a better brush. I've just been using watercolors for about a year and a half, and so I'm still learning how they work. And that includes learning how the brushes work. Still, every day, something I do is basically an experiment. In the past, I have wanted more security than creativity. I wanted to know what was going to happen. I was very insecure about being in the unknown or trying out new things. And lately, the more confident that I've gotten that my goodness is not impacted by making mistakes, that my goodness is inherent to who I am, the less worried I am about making mistakes and the more willing I am to try things. And I would like to point out, in case you don't know it, that your goodness is also inherent. And so it's okay for you to try things out and make mistakes too. I'm going to pause the video and let some of this dry, and then I'll resume in a moment. I'm back. Some of this has dried a little bit, so I think it's less likely to make a big old mess. Before it had way too much water. Not just a little bit of water that would have made a pretty bloom, but way too much water. There's a pretty bloom happening. Before it would have all been like the colors would have melded and we would have lost all the definition. The other thing I would like to say about learning how to do watercolor painting is that I'm self-taught. I'd love to have classes someday. I haven't had the opportunity just yet. Doesn't mean that I won't. So for right now, I'm just figuring things out as I go. And there's some times when one approaches things with beginner's mind, like not really having any information, not knowing how to do a thing, just trying things out, when that actually serves you really well. So I encourage you to play with something that you would like to be able to do and you just haven't been brave enough to try it yet. I would encourage you to be brave and try it. The worst thing that can happen is a few wasted supplies or something, like a few wasted art supplies, a few wasted lessons. And who knows, if you persist with it, maybe it won't even have been a waste. Alrighty, so there's my doodle avatar all set up. And now the next experiment. And I don't know if it will work or if it won't work. So we're just gonna have to see. I'm gonna get my metallic paints. Now is the time when I do want that really watery, thick, wet pen. And what I'm going to do is add a layer of metallic paint to make it look like I'm glowing. I like the way that's looking. And I think that it would be more interesting even if I had another color next to it. Make it look even more glowing. I'm just taking a moment to activate some of the paint with a little bit of water. Sometimes when we start things, it takes a little time to warm up. How about that? Even paint. And perhaps you might have a personality that is slow to warm up. Like that it's in your comfort zone to see how things go before you begin to participate. That's a very common personality type. I would say I'm one of those people. Or I would say that I was one of those people more so in my past than I am now, because I'm braver to try things now and not have to know how it's going to go. I've realized that there are no guarantees in life. And so I might as well try things and see what happens. Sometimes it works out great. Sometimes it doesn't. Either way, I will have learned something and that will have made it worthwhile. I do like that gold color. I want to make it even more vivid. One thing I'm noticing about metallic watercolors is that you have to have a lot of pigment for it to really show up as anything. I think I'm going to add another layer of that pink. Right on this edge here. Sort of blend it. All right, I think I'm satisfied with that. Hopefully it looks like it's me glowing with energy. We'll see if it's a success or a failure. It depends on how people interpret it. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And again, if you would like to reach me, my contact details will be at the end of this video.